Thank you. Holy shit, you're buff. Holy crap. I didn't realize it. You are freaking ripped. Oh. I mean, you don't got like the six packs and everything, but damn. Welcome back, viewers, YouTubers, and friends alike. My name is Mango Smoothie Man, and today we are playing some more Dauntless, but today is not a normal episode. Immediately after I started playing, I went, what do I want to dump all of my resources into? You know, like I do with Monster Hunter, where I do great swords. And I dabble a little bit in the other stuff. So I set out to find out the differences between the weapons, pros and cons, and kind of figure out what use each one of them will have, if anything. If it's just easy to stick with one weapon, or switching it up will help you out. Hope you like today's episode, because it's time to cover some weapons! Alright crew, so I'm going to be doing this in groups. I'm not going to do this solo, just because it's a lot easier to have people with you. And in case I'm horrible, I at least have somebody to help me out. First up on our list of weapons is the chain blades. These are actually very interesting, very fun, and they have some very unique abilities to them. So for starters, its light attack is a very close ranged attack. It hits right in front. Then its long ranged attack is actually distance, which is super useful in this game. So let me pull up the combos real quick here. This weapon's alternate attacks, which would be the Q button as you can see, is a chain pull that pulls you towards the enemy, and the other one's a chain push, which pushes you away from the enemy, which is pretty interesting. And as you've noticed, the combos seem to be very stamina focused. It's going to take a lot of energy, a lot of stamina, and armor builds, I feel, for this will probably benefit if they have good stamina regeneration, reduced stamina costs on, pretty much anything, and increased stamina limit. It also has this awesome dodge. This dodge is kind of like a flash forward attack, and it doesn't slow you down as much as, say, the other dodge abilities from the other two classes. Now this weapon isn't going to hit super hard, so it's going to be more of the succession of hits versus the landing a couple really good ones and getting out of there. So it is an up, in your face, get out of dodge, get back in, attack, get the heck out of there, come on back. And there are going to be behemoths that are going to be way easier and just a lot more of a smoother fight if you use this weapon. Don't limit yourself to one type of weapon. Yes, you can beat almost anything and everything with one type of weapon, but you'll have more fun with not only the variety, but it'll make the fights more dynamic, more entertaining, and in some cases a lot easier. Because then you don't have to worry about staying up and close. You can hit from a distance, or you can hit a bunch of times and get out of there, rather as maybe you're too slow to hit it with some of the other weapons. So I want to encourage everybody to expand their options for weapon choices, and not just in games like Dauntless, but games overall the board, Monster Hunter, any RPGs. Expand, test the waters on all new things, even if it isn't your favorite initially, because it's going to have an area where it shines. And these guys, speed is key. Alright everybody, we are moving to the next thing, which is hammers. I did not realize at the time that this is a way more complex weapon. The hammer is a really interesting weapon. It has aerial strikes, and it also can't, sever behemoth tails or tusks, which is kind of weird. I'd consider being able to just smash them off, still be breaking them, but it also has a concussive ether blast, which is able to be used to knock enemies down. Some of them can be interrupted in the middle of attacks, and I've tried to do it with other weapon abilities, but it just doesn't work. Not like it does with this thing. This is an amazing tank weapon that allows for you to knock down the enemy, create amazing openings, and just unload on this thing. Not to mention, it can launch you in the air, allowing you to go in for an aerial strike and then follow up some other combos. This truly is an epic weapon of amazing proportions, and I look forward to playing around with it a lot more. It is slow, don't get me wrong, and dodging, not its best friend. But being able to get yourself around the field, especially say if you're fighting something a heck of a lot bigger that's not as quick, still will make quick work of them. Once again, an amazing weapon, and I highly recommend checking this one out as well. Lack of speed, a lot more power. And I feel like setups for this, especially since it gains kind of a damage buff as you hit normally, because it looks like from the first 2 strikes in a hit, it only does like normal damage. On the third one, it seems like it doubles the damage from your weapon's output. So I think abilities that allow for you to stack damage in percentages or like multipliers, also giving yourself either better armor or higher health, would greatly help you out there. Because I noticed during the fight, I really didn't use my stamina that much. None of it really does seem to use it other than maybe some of the charge stuff. Alright everybody, the last on the list and the quickest review is going to be the swords. With a light and a heavy attack, it doesn't really have much else to explain. Its ultimate, like the charge blades, is charged by damaging behemoths. However, the ultimate is actually kind of a buff, if you will. When you trigger it, you unleash a blast of whatever element, and there is a neutral one, which is just a strong swing, which hits the enemy in the face, and then you just start hitting with your attacks. It does extend a little bit beyond the character, but not by much, and from what I noticed, it can't be used to trip up enemies. But as far as I've known from playing this, I haven't been able to trip any of them up, and it just kind of gives me a damage buff that I can unleash. Problem, it does trigger and then drain super fast. So you want to make sure that the enemy is knocked down when you're doing this. It also has a really good dodge time, very, very good, a lot of iframes, but overall it is quick, easy use, super simple, but not recommended for some of the faster things. Take this Endermane. It's really, really easy to kill because it's the first one you fight. But if you go to fight one later on when it has its fire abilities active, they are so fast, really fast in fact. And swords just don't make the right connections. So I guess there's a really big lesson here with this. I went in thinking I'm going to invest myself into one weapon type, but trying each of these weapons out, getting a good feel in their vast functionality differences, it has really made me realize don't limit yourself to one weapon, in any game really, but this one in particular. For the Endermane, I recommend something like the dual blades, something that you can do some serious distance with. Do not use a hammer. I've had so many people join a party with me, get themselves all set up with a hammer, and regretted it. Every time there was a comment about how they wished they were not using the hammer, and it's because they just couldn't hit it. I felt like I was doing a lot more damage with the chain blades than I was a sword overall. But hey, that's my opinion, and I wanted to get something out there to help out the early Dauntless players and people who are interested in stuff like this. As you guys know, this is going to be the end of the video here. You know exactly what to do. Follow my channel, hit that bell. I got my Patreon link in the description below if you'd like to support the channel. I also have a link down there for my Discord if you'd like to join in and chat with us, because we'd love to have fun, and I can't wait to hear from you guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and as always, I'll see you in the next episode. Mango out!